So I have no clue what this pedal even is, but I know that it sounds sick. Treble boosters are one of the weirdest pedals in guitar history because somehow this tiny little circuit can completely change the way an amp feels. And it's not a tube screamer. It's not a normal boost pedal. So what this is the Tampa Bay Doom Boxes #2 Vari-Treble Booster. That's a lot of words, obviously. It's inspired by the legendary DAM Red Rooster, which is itself based on the old school Rangemaster style of Germanium treble boosters. I had no clue what those were until recently, when I saw the good lad over at Tampa Bay Doom Boxes post about these, and he does own another pedal company, which I will link down below as well. But unlike the traditional Rangemaster with a fixed voicing switch, this one uses a variable tone control, so you can actually sweep from a tighter upper mid bite into a thicker, nastier range boost territory, which is pretty sick. And I haven't even really dove into all that this thing can do just yet. But also worth mentioning here, I did buy this pedal. I commissioned it from Tampa Bay Doom Boxes myself. This is not a paid or sponsored video in any way, shape, or form, so you can actually believe my opinions on this one. So let's check it out a little bit more, shall we? And then we'll get into some more of the nerdy stuff, the specs of the pedal. So let's go ahead and turn off the pedal again and hear just the Mesa Boogie dual rec with the stock tone that I'm working with on here. This is a Dunable Narwhal. It's a Dunable USA Narwhal with the Grizzly pickups. I've got just volume, tone, both dimed. I'm not using the onboard boost or switches or anything like that. Bridge pickup only. So some of the cool stuff that this does, so if I back off the boost on this a little bit, let's go ahead and go, I'll just palm mute while I'm turning that actually. So we're off now. You can hear a lot of extra gain coming out of this now, a lot more than this guitar is capable of. The gain on the dual rec is at about halfway up. These are not hot pickups, these are like medium output pickups. Sounds honestly thick, that sounds heavy. Now I do have the treble knob though pretty well cranked, so I'm going to put the boost at noon-ish, a little bit over noon because that's where I like it, and then I'm going to go ahead and start turning the treble boost so you can hear what it's doing to these chugs. So you can hear very, very thick now. We have not a whole lot of high end. There's still a little bit of cut to that, but hence Tampa Bay Doom Boxes. I'm not a Doom guitar player or writer by any means. I can see where that's going with this though. I'm using this as a boost in front of my dual rec, of course, but this can definitely do that thick, just kind of lost in the sauce, gainy sound. But for me, I like note clarity, so I'm gonna start bringing that back up and you can see how that changes. So at the center of this pedal is a carefully biased NOS Soviet MP21a Germanium transistor. And if you're into old school fuzzes and boosters, you already know Germanium circuits aren't just about EQ. They actually change the response, the feel, and the compression, and the way the amp reacts to your hands because it's going, through your guitar, into that pedal, then into the amp. So let's go ahead and hear how this affects my picking. I'm gonna turn the pedal off, and then I'm going to actually dial in the boost a little bit differently so you can kind of hear the way the percussiveness of this guitar through this amp changes. What I really like about this build is none of it feels random. It has film foil caps, it has polystyrene caps, it has vintage style electrolytics. This thing is very clearly built by somebody obsessing over the feel and character rather than just making another clean boost. We have enough clean boosts on the market, we don't need any more of them. All right, so now we've heard it on this Dunable in drop B. Let's go ahead and hear what this sounds like in just a standard tuning. So I'm gonna grab a different guitar real quick. And not standard tuning, drop D. All right, so this is my LTD Viper 1000 with an Evertune, and this is a bare knuckle pickup in the bridge. No clue what bare knuckle it is, just came with it. But this is what it sounds like without the pedal. So you can hear the pickup's quite a bit hotter. So let's go ahead and bring the boost down to middle, and the same with the treble, and see how this sounds. All right, let's go ahead and tighten it up a little bit by increasing the treble. We're almost dimed there. So honestly, this is just one of those pedals that doesn't just add gain, it changes the personality of the amp, it changes the personality of the pickups going through it, obviously. And honestly, with the right amp, this thing gets absolutely disgusting in the best possible way. This is just the dual rec. You see other amps behind me here that I still need to test it on. I also just picked up this Fender Supersonic over here that I also need to test it through. So we've got some more tests to do, not today. You're gonna have to stay tuned for the next video to see these further tests. I think it's gonna do some really cool things with that Fender because it's a little bit lower gain amp and it does pretty well with some cool pedals in front of it. So we're gonna have to see what that sounds like. So I sincerely hope you all check out Tampa Bay Doom Boxes. Again, the link will be down in the description below to both of his pedal companies. I really hope you all check him out and make some really cool stuff. You can commission and get something very unique. He asked me a ton of questions to get to the bottom of the sound that I was looking for, and then he built me that pedal. And I'm really stoked on it. I can't wait to dig into it some more and show you all what it's capable of. So expect to see some of this in some tunes coming very soon. But yeah, that is it for today. Until next time, peace and love, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Okay? Okay. Bye now.